African National Congress. The PEC holds a strong view that the veterans of our movement, fountain of knowledge, built over decades of struggle for freedom. We sincerely appeal to all extreme veterans of our movement to engage with their organization in a robust, critical, but dignified manner and avoid public statements that undermine the state and the state of the movement. However, we remain firmly opposed to any conduct, including from any esteemed veterans that seeks to weaken the African National Congress and its democratically elected leadership. The PEC will embark on a campaign to consolidate the movement's relationship with the masses of our people and ensure a dynamic connection in defense of the national democratic revolution. We call on our people to oppose the regime change agenda and defend the African National Congress. We are prepared and will double our efforts in fighting against regime change in our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Nopala. I'm sure you were moving in the same pace with the reading of the statement, so you may be having some questions that you want to raise. You are free to do so. My mom, Kali Naban, all right.
I wanted to check, are there any specific recommendations the ANC wishes to be implemented regarding the review of entities in the Department of Economic Development and others in the entire profession?
Okay. Number two, number three.
Okay, two questions from me. Just an update on with regard to the by-elections in Wadwari in Zwabantu. Last time I learned your candidate, Umashimane, was in. Has he emerged? Is he still running? Is he still going to be in hiding? One is in a councillor in hiding. Secondly, the issue of the veterans. What is exactly the organization thinks is driving the veterans to deviate from the norms of the organization by the organization? Is it unprecedented? Is the new thing happened before, as far as you can remember?
Okay.
You probably touch on the issue of veterans that must engage with the ANC. Is the ANC maybe on its own going to maybe reach out to the veterans and maybe try and engage them on their concerns?
Okay.
Number four, on the state capture reports section of the statement, I'm trying to find out, there's a lot here that you guys say that's missing from the report. Is there anything in the report that the ANC in KZN feels, has some metal or is working for the together? Anything in the report that you agree with, that you feel is not incomplete?
Okay.
It's something to fix. Yeah. Compelling.
Okay. No bother.
No, thanks so much. On the issue of public entities, yes, we made some recommendation, and MPC will deal with that. I think we'll be able to make public pronouncement approach on our now about 14 entities. We recommended that it should be reduced. They should be reduced. So, but it's, the MBC will be able to outline how they will be rationalized. We took a principal decision in line with which cause cutting later problems, and then to make them very effective in some instances, education that these species are doing. So that you done all of them being forecast. So it's important that you have them together. On the issue of Mzwabantu, the way issues relating to intimidation, which resulted to the organization coming out with security measures to protect their candidate. The candidate is campaigning there. There are some security issues, but we think they don't lead to the situation where you may making people not do anything. So we are campaigning, we are confident about that. We had to be proactive with the organization so that we don't get a peak of what happened for the 3rd of August. So on the issue of veterans, as we are saying, we respect the veterans, but we think the veterans, as members of the ANC, they should follow the internal processes engaging with the organization. There are processes, there are internal processes where each and every member of the ANC in terms of the constitution should follow. In terms of engaging them, we are aware that because we were briefed in the NEC that the national leadership is engaging them. So there is a platform for them to engage with the organization, to engage with the leadership of the organization. So we are saying they must use those internal processes to engage with the organization rather than becoming happy on issues that needed to be discussed within the organization. The state, there are issues. The report talks about the observations, but it comes up with the findings that talk to further investigation. There are some of the findings talking to issues which as serious constitutional matters. But we don't like to deal with those issues now, other than that the PEC and president, the president as the head of state should work on the process of asking for a report on the findings based on some of the gaps that we saw in the report. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nubala. We're all covered, am I right? Okay, 1, 2.
Good morning, sir. My apologies for being late. Joseph from African News Agency. I'm not sure whether his question got properly answered in terms of what did you see were the merits, what were the positive things you saw in the state capture report. So I'd like to, if we could get clarity on that. But I want to take one step further. You say on point number 6, you want the report, subject the incomplete report of the former public protector into a judiciary review. Are you saying that you want just the report reviewed, or are you, because the report does suggest that it is not totally incomplete, hence it should be subject to a judicial inquiry. Now, are you just saying the report itself should be subject to the review and you're not interested in the judicial inquiry, or are you interested in the judicial inquiry which will welcome identifying the missing links or items in that report?
Clevendo from the New Age. On the matter of Izinduna, the provincial government is on record as saying there are no funds. The provincial government will become bankrupt if they were to pay Zinduna. Are you sympathetic to their view?
Zinduna and their payments.
Yeah, and then
Okay. I think maybe why don't know Bala is finalizing that question. I think the issue about the state capture, what was said in the report, one essentially, Nobala is saying that the report is incomplete in many ways. And there is a lot of information that is very difficult to properly understand when you follow that report. Let me give you one typical example of that information. One of the credible witnesses, the so-called credible witnesses in that report, is Comrade Mcebisi Jonas. If you follow what developments that led to him finding himself in the house of the records of his cell phones, there's a missing link there. There's a time when he agrees to be picked up by the son of the president, as per the report, and then taken to the house in Saxonwood. From there, his cell phone disappeared from the scene. Later on, at 4:45 in the afternoon, I think it's a 2-hour difference at the airport. But the cell phones of all other people who were with him are still located within the Saxonwood complex. Now, for a rational person who understands that checking a cell phone does not depend on it being open. When you check a cell phone, you can switch it off here, here. How did it happen that the deputy minister, first and foremost, decided to get a lift to a meeting with strangers that he doesn't know? And when he gets a lift and leaves his police and the state car, he also strangely leaves behind his cell phone. But he's going to a strange world, an unknown terrain. But he's so comfortable that I'm going to get into a car of this person. I'm leaving my bodyguards and my car and even my own cell phone. So that's why Nobala is saying there's a lot of incomplete articulations that are captured in that report. And if they are not going to be challenged through a review, we are likely to a situation where the president and other people whose integrity has been violated with impunity in that report are going to be undermined without an opportunity things that are captured in the report to be reported properly. Cases, in our view, that it's quite clear nothing wrong was happening. We don't know as well why public protector could not hand over other outstanding and incomplete tasks to the successor. That this was more urgent and more fundamental. I want to go public about it. There are many cases that she has been dealing with, and many of them are with the successor. What was it about this one, which was so incomplete and so badly written that it must go public? That is why, in our view, this was important because it was contributing to the effort to bring down who's the president of the ANC. So I thought, let me just clarify that because the report, many times, when we went to the PC, we were seeing the report. Is in the report, and we felt that a lot needs to be done to deal with the content of this report.
Yeah, no, the question is what were the positive things? So it would be incorrect for us to engage on an incomplete report, even to start engaging on it. Quite clear it was a rush job. It needs to be processed properly. Then we'll be able to engage on the report. There is no report on this as we speak now. It's an incomplete report. Then there's no need even to start engaging on it. Because you don't know what will be the final report. On the issue of Isidona, yes, we discussed the issue of of funds. But you see, talking about the issue itself, legal, you are supposed to be paying Isidona. Of excuse you can come up with
that will say you don't have to pay it in Nduna. We have said to the Premier and the executive, let them engage with Nduna, but they must start paying Nduna, because the more we keep on discussing the issue, we are accumulating on what you should be paid. We even said there should be a reprioritization of budget. Then when they are dealing with this issue, they look at all those issues so that we comply with the law of this country.
So we've covered even the latecomers. Okay.
You didn't answer my question as regards when you talk about, you say you want the report to be subjected to a judicial review. Now the report itself says that there should be a judicial commission of inquiry. Are you saying you're happy for it to go to that judicial commission of inquiry? Or are you saying, no, we don't want this matter to be subjected to a judicial commission of inquiry? We just want the report itself to be subjected to a review, in which case it is either rejected or accepted. Or are you saying, yes, we're happy for it to go to the judicial? What do you mean by judicial review versus a judicial commission of inquiry as stated in that report? And can I actually top on that? Are you happy? The ANC Youth League were very unhappy that that particular report said that the person to head up the Judicial Commission of Inquiry should be appointed by the Chief Justice. The ANC Youth League was saying, well, no, that's the prerogative of the minister. I also like your viewpoint on that.
Well, maybe let me start, and Nopala will help me. The first issue that we want to raise about the report is that in its current form, flawed with major discrepancies, even in law. And our view is that if you take a document that is so much flawed, you put it into a process of a commission of inquiry, you would have missed the point, because you are not allowing the court in the first place to determine whether or not some of the positions assumed by the public protector are consistent with our legal regime in this country. The first of those is the example that you are making. The public protector cannot say, unfortunately she has done that, but it is not within her own authority to instruct the president that when you set up a judicial inquiry, get only one name to be a judge that is going to that is going to preside over the inquiry, and that one name must be designated by the Chief Justice. I mean, that's a glaring conflict of interest there. The president, as the head of state, is empowered by the constitution in this country to appoint a judicial inquiry. I mean, now if you say you want that to be happening, but you are putting a strict condition, which you are not explaining in law, because this is supposed to be a document that is also informed by the legal prescripts of our country. When you say the president must appoint a judge on a recommendation of one judge from the Chief Justice, in our view, that is wrong. That is unconstitutional. It was going to be sufficient to say there is a need for a commission of inquiry to be appointed by the president has appointed a commission of inquiry on the Anckzn on a matter that many people in this country believe that he was conflicted on. He conducted his work, he produced a report. The report is now history. Nobody, not even a constitutional court, has challenged the validity of that report. Be told by an outgone public protector that this president is not capable of appointing a judge who is equal to the task of presiding over a commission of inquiry in this case. By the way, this public protector, who is so renowned and revered today, was herself appointed by the same president. But today, she is doubtful that the president who was appointed recently, a competent successor to her, of appointing a judge to preside over a commission of inquiry. So we are saying that that's not only illegal, but it's also something that is unprecedented, that we believe the judicial review will help all of us as South Africans to deal with some of the discrepancies and the powers that the former public protector unfortunately appropriated to herself, which are not belonging to her. In terms of our constitution, the president appoints the judicial of inquiry, and the president determines that as per the law, not as per the instruction of the public protector. So that's a message we're saying about that. Man, we agree with the youth league. We are also very concerned that the public protector was really inflating her authority beyond something that is reasonable. I mean, if you go to an extent of telling the head of state, President Zuma is not just like me. He's the head of state. The executive authority of the republic rests in the head of state in this country, that's President Zuma. And he can't be directed by people he has appointed. That now you must carry this task in this way, and in so doing, it's even fine if you subvert this very same constitution that you are supposed to be to defend, to advance, and to uphold. So that's a position we hold, that you be wrong. If she had said appoint a commission of inquiry and end there, we would not have a problem with that. Right. That it must be one judge, and that judge must come from the Chief Justice. Then we are concerned, we are worried that what is the agenda here? No longer to deal with this matter and bring finality to it, is to advance a particular cause, which all the time we've been suspecting that this thing is about delegitimizing the president and the ANC so that you feed into the agenda to change the ANC in this country, which were opposed. So I hope that does, to a larger extent, answer to your
Much
question.
better, much better.
Okay. Okay.
Given the provincial government a time frame upon which to realign the public entities. Secondly, last year you took a decision that the provincial MECs, including the Premier, should do away with the dual ministerial offices in Durban and PWC. I don't recall you setting a time frame. It still continue up until now, where the MECs, the Premier, in two offices in these two towns. Are you happy with that implementation, taking into account the resolve last year, that in the spirit of constructive measures, that has to come to an end? Has there been any moving in the implementation of the implementation?
Thanks, Commissioner. On the issue of time frame on the public entities, there's no time frame. We know that there are legal processes that needs to be followed, trying to wind up any entity. So we can't give a time frame on that. So we expect that those processes should be followed by the public. On the issue that we're talking about, in terms of moving offices from Durban to Thomas, as you all know, there are no spaces at Thomas. Others are silent looking for offices in Thomas. It's not this, but it's not the thing that can be helped. That can happen. So, matter that when you take space. So the matter that is still our position, we'll be having a provincial government summit next weekend. We'll be expecting departments to even report on those issues in terms of cost-cutting measures. Policy matters, like we said, they should focus on account on the implementation of the ANC manifesto, account on how far they implemented the NDP plan. So those are the things that the departments will be accounting on to the ANC for the next for 3 days next weekend.
Yes.
I've got two other things that are not related to state capture report you'll be pleased to know. Earlier this week, or I think it was last week, you guys released a press statement regarding the ANC Youth League, which had said that it had nominated Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma for president. Can you tell us, in that statement, you also chastised them? Can I ask, has that meeting with provincial leaders happened over this succession debate, as was said in that statement? That's my first question. My second question relates to events yesterday. Mr. Julius Malema, former member of this party and now leader of the EFF, appeared in the Newcastle court. While I don't ask you to comment on the merits of the case, because you can't, he raised some points which I'm just wondering if I can get a reaction. The one is that he said the ANC had failed to remove, the largest party, to remove what is apartheid legislation, that is the Righteous Assemblies Act of 1956. That's the first thing I'd like a reaction. How do you guys feel about that? The second thing he obviously raised was the land issue. And while I believe that's a national portfolio, he did raise some along the lines of he's not about to slaughter the whites just yet. We'd like your reaction to that.
Yeah, I'm scared that you might be slaughtered.
I'm just wondering whether I've got to pack my bags. But when? That's what I'd like to know. No, I'd just like your reaction.
On the issue of the ANC, we affirm on that they started a debate that the prematurely started a debate, which is not in line with the culture of the ANC. We will be meeting with them. It's just that we were busy, but we discussed with them because they are part of the peace. We will be engaging with them, and we'll come back to you as well with them. And I know that we know that we prematurely started a discussion upon the matter. On the issue of comments by Malema, we don't want to respond on behalf of Malema. I think he's better placed to respond to some of the questions. All what we can advise Malema on is that he must face his case and frame from using the ANC. So if he's got that, he must present that in the court of law. So that's the opportunity, and that's the platform that he needs to advance his argument.
Agreed, and we are done now. We would, I'm sure, allow ukuthi kube khona imibuzo mayikhona wonke sinayo Mokhosi. Yeah, mhlawumbe singashaya kaMageba and then okunye sesiyodlula nako ngama-interviews.